We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, December 27, The Why of Success, Part 6. Fear God, he shouted. Give glory to Him, for the time has come when He will sit as judge. Revelation 14:7, NLT. Not just another denomination, a movement of prophecy. A profound belief that Miller's basic prophetic understanding had been correct fueled both understandings. From the Sabbatarian perspective, the other Adventist groups had lost their way and eventually their mission because of their denial of Miller's principles of prophetic understanding. That denial took two different directions. One involved a rejection of the obvious interpretation of scriptural passages that clearly seemed to be quite literal in intent. Thus, the belief that Christ had already come sapped the missiological strength of spiritualizers. After all, if Christ had already arrived, what was the reason of any kind of mission at all? On the other hand, the Albany Adventists spurned the stimulus to mission that had convicted and empowered Millerism when they abandoned Miller's principles of prophetic interpretation in their rejection of the great time prophecies of Daniel and the Revelation. Without that certainty of the flow of prophetic history, they lost a sense of conviction and urgency. They finally had to find a meaning for existence in other doctrines, such as conditional immortality. That may have been good enough for a sort of status quo denominational existence, but the Albany group had abandoned the mainspring that had aggressively propelled Millerite mission. By way of contrast, the Sabbatarians founded their movement on that very mainspring. They not only maintained Miller's prophetic scheme of interpretation, but they extended it in such a way as to give meaning both to their disappointment and to the remaining time before Christ's advent. Central to that extended interpretation were Christ's work in the heavenly sanctuary and the progressive nature of the three angels' messages of Revelation 14. Father in heaven, help us as we think of Adventist past and Adventist futures to recognize the importance of apocalyptic prophecy for the Adventist present. We realize that a renewed understanding of the relevance and importance of apocalypticism for the 21st century is the only hope for a vibrant Adventism. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget, and may I remind you, if you would like to be included in the New Year's readings, please send me an email.